Hey, Margaret.
Hey there, Bob. How are you tonight?
Trying to stay warm, snowing like crazy up here in Cleveland land.
Oh man, what's the temperature there?
I don't know. It's in the low teens. That's
Ugh,
without the wind chill, and it's been snowing all day long.
man.
So, yeah.
We're in the what are we at? The 50s?
Really? Man, I wish I was. My cousin
53.
down in Georgia is warmer than I am.
So sorry.
I'm ready to head back down south. But anyway, we were going to have Brian on tonight. He had to cancel due to family problems that he's fixing. So
Okay.
Brian's not going to be able to make it tonight, but he will be on next week.
Okay.
Okay. What are we going to touch base on tonight, Margaret?
I think tonight it would be good to talk about if we want to add a new member to our family, where do we start? You know, it got me thinking because my niece Erica and her husband just got a new puppy, a Great Pyrenees puppy, because they have a farm up in Michigan and they needed a livestock guard dog, one that's going to protect their livestock there. So it was a perfect fit, and their breeder was real helpful in picking the right personality
Yeah.
dog puppy for them. So, what do you tell your clients to do if they contact you and say,
Well,
"Hey,
and I run into this problem a lot. Um, a matter of fact, there was a gentleman that I just invited him that liked our Rockin' Dog page. I believe I can't remember if this gentleman was from Tennessee or Georgia, but he had a picture of looked like a coon dog puppy. And every dog is different. And the reason why I say that, like this gentleman here, has got coon dogs. Now, I'm sure he wouldn't sell a coon dog to someone that lives in a condo or an apartment. Okay,
right,
it's a hunting breed. Do what the dog is bred to do. Okay, if you can't give that dog proper amount of exercise and hunt them, I'm sure this gentleman has probably established lines, you know, for hunting, and that's probably who we would love to sell his dogs to, or hunters. Um, but I've run into people also that they're elderly and oh, Australian Shepherd puppies are so cute. Well, it's a herding dog. That dog will herd cattle all day long. And the other people, even, they live in a condo or something and they get a Belgian Malinois and they're a little bit up in age. And you see that dog, man, he's just pacing, 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 pacing. Malinois are bred to work. If you can't work them or get them like for police work, for ring sport, that's what these dogs are bred for. I can take it as far as Dutch Shepherds also. Um, make sure you know what you're getting. If you're a laid back person, do not get a sporting breed if he's not going to have the proper amount of exercise and play. Get something on the milder side. Okay, you want to stay away from your terriers because they're 100 miles an hour. Even pit bulls can be 100 miles an hour. Just ask the if you go to a breeder, a good breeder will tell you or ask you, where do you live? And you say a condo. And she says, well, I have, let's say you want a border collie. Good luck. That dog will drive you crazy in that apartment. So unless you exercise it, exercise it, exercise it, run with it, things like that. Um, but I would definitely ask the breeder. If they're a good breeder, they'll tell you the truth that no, my dog is not a good fit for you. These dogs or this particular breed requires this or it requires that. And then they might be able to steer you in a direction of what type of dog would best suit you and your family. What do you think, Margaret?
Exactly. I mean, it's tough to go into a house for an evaluation and they're in a condo or an apartment and they have a Australian Shepherd,
Yeah,
and that's a herding breed, and they want to run, 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 and it's driving the people crazy because they have to get that energy out somehow. So what are they going to do? They're going to turn to your walls. They're going to turn to your shoes. They're going to turn to your furniture, and it's just it's super tough. So I think the first thing you need to do is get someone that's knowledgeable. It's just
definitely.
like, even if you're going to go get a new car, you're going to talk to people first. You're going to get opinions. You're going to research online and everything. So that's what my niece and her husband did. Her husband did tons of research and came up with this breed. You can go to websites, do a Google search. How do
Yeah,
I choose a dog? And you go to that website and you fill out answers to what you want in a dog and your personality, your living situation, that kind of thing, how active you are, how not active. If you're a couch potato, get a dog that's a couch potato, get a mastiff.
yeah, something, you know. But even your rescue groups, I'll admit some are good, some just want to get rid of a dog. If find a good rescue group, and I mean they'll even tell you that the dog requires a backyard, the dog requires a lot of exercise. These are the things you have to look for, not just, oh, is he pretty? I want him. Because, a lot of times you get a dog and you think he's happy. He's not happy. He's got to work. He wants to go for a run. He wants, you know, it, get the dog that suits your personality, in your lifestyle. Don't just get a dog because it's cute and you have no idea what kind of dog you're getting. You can, I'm dealing with some people right now and they got just too much dog. This lady just has entirely too much dog, and it's a pit bull, and it's 100 miles an hour. I walk in the house, all I got to do is say no, sit. One time, boom, his butt's on the ground. For her, no, because it's just too much dog for her to handle.
Yeah.
She's older. Her pit's about 65. It's a big pit, and
Wow.
it's just too much dog for her to handle. And I told her that on 2 or 3 different occasions, but she loves her dog. So, as a trainer, the only thing I can do is keep working with her and work with her and work with her until she gets it. So, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I was just gonna see if I could find a picture of the puppy. Maybe next time I'll show y'all a
Okay.
picture of the
Um,
puppy. Her name is Macy. She's super cute.
Another thing I want to touch base on tonight, and I'm running into this a lot in my lessons.
Okay.
And it's something that doesn't happen overnight. So, and you know me, I'm very straight shooter. I don't like nobody. Um,
Hmm.
Dogs that snap at their owners because they panic and try to grab them. That doesn't happen every night or overnight, I should say. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Um, this has to be done over and over and over where it's at a point it hears mom or dad freaking out and the dog, you grab him by the collar, grab him by the leash, and he's snapping or he's fighting that leash like crazy because he's going to be disciplined. He knows it. And like I said in my previous shows, people, calm down. Don't let your dog freak out. You're going to end up getting hurt. Just calm down, put obedience on your dog, take
Hmm.
charge. Because the more panicky you become and you're grabbing them, you're freaking the dog out and he's going to defend himself. And I can't stress that enough. Not every dog will do it. but everyone so far that I'm dealing with has done it. And
Yeah.
it can't, they say, well, he just did it. Don't tell me how long have you been doing that to your dog? That's the question that a good trainer will ask the clients. And don't be afraid to ask it. How long have you been panicking, running up to this dog trying to grab him? Now he's freaking out. You got to take a deep breath, as they say, blow that shit out, and
Exactly.
relax and take charge. And remember, there's no learning going on unless you show him first what he is expected to do. You can't just discipline and not show the difference, in other words, between right and wrong. Or you'll be battling it all day. Then you're going to say, your dog is aggressive and he bit me and I'm afraid of him and he's going to tear me up. And again, Margaret, what do I say? All the dog problems that you're having, whether it's chewing, whether it's digging, whether it's jumping up, no matter what it is, you're creating it. You created your own problems. Every time the dog jumps on you, hi buddy, how you doing? Boom. You condoned it. You got all this crap on the floor for the dogs to chew on, choose on dad's $300 shoes or boots. And
Hmm.
you're going to discipline him for it. Dog knows no different. He just knows that's something else on the floor I can chew on too. And that I've touched base on this stuff in previous shows, and I'm still running into these problems. We're not going to lie to you, people. You can't do that. Look back at some of our shows and it explains things. But the one thing, like Margaret always says, your dogs aren't computers, you know, and especially if you're 70 years old and you got an Aussie or you got a Malinois or whatever, and you live in an apartment. Oh, bad pick. And yeah, I said it. That's a bad pick because you're not capable of giving the dog the exercise that it needs, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Unless you want to walk 4 or 5 miles a day and play with that dog, if you don't have the time to work 30 minutes playing with that dog, tug of war, throw a ball, fetch, whatever you do, it's got to be done every day or that dog will start pacing all over his house. He doesn't know what to do with himself. So don't get a dog like that. If don't, I should say, don't get that type of breed if you're not capable of giving it the proper exercise, or you want to go join a group for ring sport or whatever, like for a Malinois or a Shepherd or, your Dutch Shepherds. Uh-uh. Don't do it. Don't pick that dog because all you're actually going to do is make that dog miserable because he's not doing what he was bred to do, you know. So
yes.
what kind of problems you running into with people with the wrong dogs, Margaret?
Well, if I'm going to train a service dog and say they have an autistic child, for
Mm-hmm.
example, that they want the dog to be a calming sense for, or they want to get a dog as a therapy dog to take into, like, say, a nursing home to be a calming effect to, the residents in there, and a dog to pet and things like that. If Don't go get a Belgian Malinois, please.
Yeah,
Just 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 don't do it, because, like Bob said, Belgian Malinois is a working dog. It has high energy. It's police dog. The police have those dogs and shepherds. High drive dogs, because even within a breed, you have the high drive dogs within that breed. So, just please get one that's not high drive and needs a job,
right.
because just going and letting people pet them, technically it is a job, but it's not a high drive dog job.
Right.
Sorry.
It's
Yeah.
not jumping, running, biting, things like this.
Yes.
That's what Malinois and Dutches were bred for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got to bite something. I got to go chase a bad guy. I want to go tracking. I want, that's what they're bred for. Stay away from them unless you're going to give that dog, again, the proper amount of exercise. Okay. They probably you might be able to get away with just doing agility with them because it'll get all that energy out. It's excitement. It's like a job.
Yes.
Okay. But no, if the best bet is research the kind of dog that you want to get, right? Research the different breeds, research what they were bred for. Okay. If you can't do that, don't get the dog. If you can't give them the proper amount of exercise, don't get the dog. And let's say, okay, you found your perfect match, right? Breeder agrees it's a good match for you, and you pick out your puppy. Why does 99.9% of the people, what do they look for in their puppy? Oh, that one's pretty. Oh, look at that one's got cute eyes.
Yeah.
Just because they're cute don't mean they're going to be fantastic dogs. When I used to raise my shepherds, when I went to go get a new pup when I first started, I could care less with that dog. Not as far as conformation, but I could care less. Oh, look at this one's pretty. Oh, but this one's a dusty looking. Oh, it's an ugly sable. But from watching him and maybe working with him a little bit and getting him to follow me, and I realized that's a good dog. That's the dog I want. Don't just
Yeah.
go there and just pick out a fun puppy or this one looks cute, so I want them.
Right.
Get with the breeder.
Mm-hmm.
Ask him which one you think would be the best fit for me. And a serious breeder will help you.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Um, what I used to do, I used to go in a whole litter of pups. And let's say I had a litter of pups, I'd start walking. And the dog, it constantly followed me. And I stopped, and it stopped next to me. And I was able to push his little butt down on the ground, start walking again. And he just followed me without a leash on. That's the dog I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones are off goofing around, chasing grasshoppers and stuff. I want the one that follows me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because he wants that bond with you. The other ones think crickets are better,
Yeah.
you know. With the hunting breed, it could be. I mean, they're bred to hunt, man. They want to use their nose. They want to go, 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 go. You know, a good reputable, whether it's your German short hairs, your English pointers, whatever, your coon dogs, um, the breeder will help you pick out a good dog, especially if it's a serious hunting dog breeder. He's breeding them out of such and such lines that when field trials or they've done this, he'll figure out what dog you need. Anything else, Margaret,
Exactly.
on that?
Well, then you have like, say someone doesn't want to go to a breeder. Okay. Um, they don't they don't care if it's a pure breed or a mixed breed. So they might go to a shelter or somewhere like that. So would you recommend that someone call you and say, hey, Bob, I want to get a new puppy, but, I really don't care what breed it is or anything. I like to go to the shelter and rescue one. So it probably would behoove them to have you go with them and you explain, like, when you see puppies there with them, because people, it's just like a car. They fall in love with the outside of it. They don't think about what's under the hood
Right.
or what have you.
Yeah.
So,
That I think I touched base on this with you. Maybe the third show we did, I'm not sure, but I've only been asked like I mean, less than the fingers on my hand. But people would be smart to do that if they have a good trainer. Because a lot of the people that have the dogs that I'm training, just too much dog for them. And I've told them that. You know, if you're handicapped and or you're 80 years old and all of a sudden they see a 6-month-old wire-haired fox terrier with
Oh
no
boy.
training on it whatsoever.
Oh boy.
It's like, yes, he's going to be a small dog, and I'm sure you're going to love this little guy to death, but he is full of energy. He will wear you out, you know. So, yeah, I would recommend if to find a trainer, but keep in mind, a trainer's not going to go out there unless you use them. Like if someone out of the blue called me up and says, "Would you help me find a dog?" Well, I'm not going to take time out of my day to go find him a dog if I'm not going to train that dog because I've got other lessons to do. I've got other dogs to train.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So even if you talk to a trainer and say, "Yes, I researched you and I really want you to train my dog," from talking to you or whatever, would you help me pick out a dog or will you go with me? All right, I'll do that. You know, but it's going to be, and a lot of trainers won't do that. A good trainer will, I believe. But the last thing you want to hear from, and a lot of trainers won't tell you that that's too much dog for you.
Because they want you as a client. So.
They want a customer.
Mm-hmm.
And they know they can train the dog for them. But what
Yeah.
they don't tell the people that it's up to the people to get the dog to work for them. You know,
Right.
to do the obedience, to do the housebreaking, to stop the chewing, to stop the jumping. Yeah, I'm only at their house once a week.
Right.
It's up to them to follow through. You agree with that? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. It is.
and it's just like you. You train service dogs, all right, at the specialized. I mean, God love you, Margaret.
Thanks.
But I'm sure you went up to people and say, this dog will never be a service dog. He just don't have it in him. It's not the type dog to be a service dog. Or
Right.
it's too much dog for you to handle. I know you love him to death, but I mean, what would you tell the people like that in that situation?
Yeah. They came to me with, they already had a dog and it was like the wrong type dog for what they need. I would just have to be upfront. That's my biggest thing with clients, even if I lose a client, even if being honest with them doesn't help me make money. I will be honest with my clients and tell them, hey, the type of dog you need is this. This dog is a great dog, but it just doesn't fit the bill for what you need.
Right,
So I would be honest with them and say, if it's just one person and they don't want two dogs, then I don't know what they need to do.
right,
But if it's a family and they can handle having another dog, I would say, hey, let me put my feelers out, see if I can find a dog that would be better suited for what you need. And then this dog can be your service dog, and your dog you have now can be just your family dog.
right, right, right. The best way you wouldn't want, and you've seen me train Margaret for years. You know the type dogs we used to train. I'll train a golden retriever to be a protection dog. All right. But will he actually be a man stopper? Was he
Uh,
bred for that kind of work? Or a German short hair strong dogs?
yeah.
I've trained a lot of them for protection work. Okay. But some people, like you're explaining, they want a golden retriever to compete in French ring, or Schutzen. Or
Yeah.
no, you'll get laughed out of the ring.
Yeah.
You know, it it's not that they can't do it, okay? But it would take time, effort, and does the dog really have it in his heart to do that? That's why they stick to their Dutches, their Dutch Shepherds, the
Hmm.
Malinois, the German Shepherds. They're bred for it. Let's go to work, man. I'm ready to fight. And again, it's just like these people have put like your hunting dogs. They oh well, it's out of show lines, and they got four champions in AKC. In his bloodline, his mom was a champion, his dad was a grand. Well, fine, that's all well and good. He's pretty,
Hmm.
all right, but they're they cannot compete with whatever breed, like a German short hair. He's got all these champions in the show ring. He won't even come close to a German short hair that's out of straight hunting lines and a field trial champions. That dog have a heck of a time competing with him, in my book.
Well, I tell you, I trained a girl over in Naples. I trained two because she's retiring the first one. German short hair pointers. Sorry. To she has seizures,
Mm-hmm.
and they're hunting dogs. They have awesome noses, and I
Right,
mean they. You wouldn't believe it, Bob. The first one I trained, right? I trained them to paw her when
right,
they start smelling that scent.
right,
Paw. Of course, they had to get in sync with each other, and then once they did, if she didn't listen to him, he would actually take it a step further and like mouthed her arm and started pulling on her some.
yeah,
He, I said, well, sometimes I'm too honest. I was like, I can't take credit for that. I didn't teach him to do that part, but he is
right,
one smart dog. And then
right,
the second one, he learned very quickly too. And those type breeds, which their instinct is to use their nose, those would be really great with scent detection, service dogs,
right,
seizures, diabetes, that type thing. So they might have you might want to pick one in that breed that's not as high energy as the others.
mm-hmm.
Because within breeds, like people ask me, what's your favorite breed? I said, well, there's good and bad in every breed. I can't
And
tell
yet
you.
that's being honest.
Yes.
That's being real honest.
Yeah.
You know, all we're trying to say, folks, is research your breed before you get it. Don't get yourself into something that, oh my God, this dog's a terror. Don't believe everything a rescue group. Like I said, some rescue groups are very picky on
Yeah.
who they give their dogs to. Them are the ones you want to stick with because they're going to be honest with you and
Yes.
they care about the dog. Don't go to these rescue breeds that, oh yeah, he's good with kids and he does this and oh, he's great, he'll be fine. And you get him home and he wants to bite the mailman and
Mm-hmm.
he's jumping on top of your counters. You go and he's standing on top of your dining room table. They're not going to tell you everything about that dog.
Exactly.
And they may
Sometimes.
not even know everything about that dog.
Yeah.
They're going by what the foster person is saying. And even if the foster person says, I don't know, he's growled a couple times around his bowl, the owner isn't going to tell you, or the owner of the rescue group isn't going to tell you that.
They want to place the dogs. I mean, I
Right,
I trained within a rescue group, very good rescue group. I did it in memory. My real mother, she had schnauzers, and I wanted to do something, so I volunteered time with the schnauzer rescue group. And any person, I probably fostered probably 10 or 11 schnauzers, and of course I would get the ones that needed help because I was trainer, and so I was honest with the people.
right,
One of them, I would say, you couldn't let someone come pet the dog if it was in your lap.
right,
You had to put it on the floor. So I had to be honest with her. This is what you need to do. Is that okay? Because if it's not, you don't want problems to arise or a dog getting returned or this, that, and the other. Some rescue groups are not that good and they will just tell you what you want to hear so then they can place another dog, place another dog, place another
Right.
dog. They just want the dogs placed.
Right.
So, and there's sometimes you'll go to a shelter and they will not know the total history because there are these people that will just drop off their dogs at shelters or leave them in the outside cages
Or they
and
find them in the street
they
or what
find
have
them.
you.
Yes, and
You
so
know.
you have to learn about them after you get them home. You have to learn their personality and stuff like that. So having a trainer, a lot of times with that situation, works out well in your favor because they can help you, learn their personality and figure it out with you and
Right.
help you professionally how
Yeah.
to deal with it.
Yeah. And again, if you guys have any questions about that, um, go to rockanddogs11 at Gmail. Write us an email. Um, Margaret will answer it. And to be honest, I don't check it that much because I keep forgetting the password to it.
I'll check it once in a while.
All
And
right.
but your website is up. I did get my website up. It's
Oh,
very
good.
basic. It's very basic, but it's up there, and I'm getting I'm thinking more and more that I need to add with it.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
know,
It takes time. It
yeah,
takes time. I mean, if you look at mine, it's crazy.
I haven't been. I haven't seen yours yet. I have to
Oh,
look.
look it up. Look it up. But again, if anybody watches this or tunes in, they want to know anything about aggression. We did a show a couple weeks ago on aggression. We did a show last week on how to find a good trainer or what to look for in a trainer, whether it be a board and train trainer, private lesson trainer, a service dog trainer, like what Margaret does. She does do a little bit of obedience, but she likes service dog training.
Yeah.
But we have shows on just about everything. I may, if I can remember this week, I am going to do I'm going to video one of my lessons, okay, if the people allow it, because a lot of people don't want to be on camera. But
Mm-hmm.
you'll hear the way I talk to these people. I don't pull any punches.
Yeah.
A good trainer asks you questions in a lesson. Timing of a correction. What are the three parts to consistency? Actually, there's four, but I make it easy for them and try to get them to remember three. How about switching hands with the leash? What hand are you using to give a hand signal? And you'll hear me asking all these questions. I do it with all my lessons. And I tell the people straight up, it's not that I'm picking on you, but I'm making sure you understand. Because if I let you do what you're doing, you just blew your money and I'm not doing my job. You know? So next week I'm gonna see if I can get a video on. All right. I do have a video that I may show. I had to use a dominant dog collar on this pit bull. The girl is a prosecutor. I'm not going to say what county, but she is a prosecutor. She adopted this pitty, solid black pitty, beautiful dog. Um, as soon as I walked in the house, man, he lunged right at me while she was holding onto the leash. Calmed him down from that. Did obedience work on him. Highly, highly, highly dog aggressive. And you can see this little girl handling this dog. I mean, but again, I used a dominant dog collar because it was the easiest way to control this dog for her. All right. And you'll see I got half he's half coon hound and half whatever. His name's Hank Williams. But you'll see I got Hank Williams pretty close to him to where the pity wouldn't even look at him. So I may play that video. And remember, if you're going to do any reactive dog work, don't try to use a cookie to redirect or a squeak toy. I always redirect through obedience. You screw up, I'm working you. I'm going to correct you, and we're going to start working. We're going to go heel. We're going to go automatic sit. We're going to go stays. We're going to go back to a heel. Then I want you to reapproach that dog again. You screw up, you're going to get corrected, and you're going to end up working again. And it works for me. I've been doing it for years. Um, but you're going to see that on this video because I tell her straight up, take him around, and this little girl don't play. Even with a dominant dog collar, man, she whips him right around, heads back down the street, whips him back around, and comes back up, and the dog started to understand, I better listen to mom. Mom ain't playing games no more.
Yeah.
You know, and with a breed like that, the temperament that dog had, he's seen dogs up the road and was up on his hind legs trying to get to them, frothing at the mouth. I mean, he was crazy over dogs. She couldn't even take him for a walk. She see a dog
Wow.
coming, and it was almost like a 100% positive dog trainer. Oh shit, we got to go this way, you know. And I told her, no, we're coming together, girl. You know. So we have a lot of decent videos. Take notes if you want, or keep going back. Margaret and I are always here. Brian again, dynamite trainer. He's been training 23 years, 24 years. I taught him how to train back in the 90s, I believe it was. Real good trainer. He has a board and train facility. I would say the name of it, but I don't know if he'd get mad. No, I'll say it. He's located just south of Dallas, and it's a new leash on life dog training. Margaret, the name of your company is?
Way of Life Canine Academy.
And I am Family Dog Training. So, and I'm up here in Cleveland. Margaret is between Boca and West Palm,
Yep.
in that area. Give them a ring. Give us a ring. We'll help you. We won't lie to you. That's all I have for tonight, Margaret.
You see in the upper right hand corner?
Upper right. No. Oh, what is? Oh, is
That's
that the little doodle dog?
Yeah, I don't know how to do a full picture yet. Christopher has to show me that.
Let me see. Oh no, that's the Pyrenees.
Yep, that's the Pyrenees
Okay.
puppy.
How old is he?
I think she's like 3 months old.
You know what was funny? A good friend of ours, Paul Kaufman, down in Texas.
Hmm.
His granddad had two Pyrenees, and it was funny the way he used to tell me how they worked because they used to get coyotes on their property, and there was sheep or goats and things like that, and calves, and the coyotes had come in. Well, they'd have one dog, and he never even had to train him. One dog went out and just laid down. Like if he heard them howling and stuff like that, they'd take out in the field where the howling, and they'd just lay down and wait.
Wow.
You know, and they took care of business, man. No coyotes got on that property. Them
Oh, that's
Pyrenees
awesome.
would eat them up.
Well,
You know.
Erica's telling me that her puppy, her name is Macy,
Hmm.
and she loves to be outside, even though there's snow all over the ground, like on where you live. They're a little
Yeah.
bit north, of course, but she goes, "No, you have to come inside," and she's like, we
Yeah,
have to
no,
work
no,
on
don't
that.
baby that dog. You
Yeah,
know, it's even Paul's granddad.
I said you got
His
to be firm with her. She goes, "Oh, she's showing her stubbornness already."
I think his granddad used to leave part of the barn open. Them dogs would sleep in the barn, or they'd be outside, never come in the house. They just liked it outside.
Yeah, Christopher has and his fiance have a grooming shop in North Carolina, and they have a customer that she has goats
Hmm.
on property not far from them, so they bring their Pyrenees in to their grooming shop, for grooming,
Right.
and they're outside dogs. They
Yeah. They
they
love
protect. Yep.
it. And the thing is, if you get them out of a good line, they'll stay outside. It's like they know what they're bred to do.
Oh yeah.
You know. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they're dynamite dogs.
Yeah.
But like share, subscribe.
Yep. And
Would
one thing I
appreciate it.
learned is if you
Tonight,
subscribe, you
tonight, I wanna thank
good.
the new people that liked us and became let's say friends or followers on our
Mm-hmm.
Rock and Dog page. Um, Again, people, between Margaret and I, we have 60 some years experience.
Yeah.
Um, and we've trained thousands of dogs in Texas. I lived 25 years in Texas. We both worked at one of the largest dog training facilities, I would say, or
Oh yeah.
close to it. They had 9 locations, and we would put dogs through there like crazy,
Oh yeah.
um, out of all their locations. But we trained a lot of dogs. We don't lie to people. It's kind of in our blood.
Yeah.
So we're not 100% positive reinforcement. That is a bad word to us.
Yeah.
So, you know, the positive reinforcement trainers, they they're losing a lot the full grasp of training. How that dog learned as a baby, 5 5 weeks old. They got their milk teeth. Suck on mama too hard, or try getting him mama's food. Mama put him in their place real quick, and you didn't see mama go lick the puppy or just nudge her out of the way with the nose. They'll get nasty.
Mm-hmm.
It's unwanted behavior, people.
Yeah.
Got disciplined, and it was done. So always remember that if you're thinking about, I call it cookie training. It's okay to motivate with the treat, but take the treat away. I always use a treat and a toy after a training session as their paycheck, but I don't sit cookie, touch, sit cookie. What? And what is this? Look at me. Look at me.
Oh
What's that
yes.
all about?
I don't
Come
know.
on,
I
man.
I have yet to figure that crap out because it's
Just
just like,
just because a dog is looking at you don't mean he's going to pay. Do outside and put 12 squirrels around and tell your damn dog to look at you because you're going to give him
yeah.
a cookie.
I
Come
tell I
on,
t-
people.
I tell I say, hey, if I want the dog to look at me, I'm gonna keep doing commands and let them know if you miss something, you're gonna get a correction. If you do something
Exactly.
right, you're gonna get my praise. So the dog is going to learn to pay attention.
And the thing is, what's the key to that? Never correct the dog unless he knows or understand what he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Once you see he knows what he's supposed to do, then you can start giving the corrections. But don't do it before then because he's getting corrected and he has no idea what for.
Yeah.
Okay? That's all I got tonight, Margaret.
All right.
Like, share,
Share,
subscribe,
subscribe.
call Margaret, write to me. I'll write
Yep.
back, I promise. And see y'all next week.
Have a good night, everyone.
See you later, guys.